All right, so you guys are looking at the finished product of my 1999 Honda Z50R restoration project, and you guys will see why I did the air quotes here in a few minutes. I've owned this bike for a little over 3 years now, I believe. Got it off a guy from Facebook Marketplace who was selling it for $1,200. I think I picked it up for $11. Shouldn't have paid even that much, and you guys will see why at the end of the video, because I didn't record my process as I went along. I kind of just took pictures and videos as I made progress over the years, because I've kind of just been playing around with this for the past 3 years. I haven't done the entire project all in one, so I didn't record the whole process start to finish, but I'll add in any pictures or videos that I have at the end of the video so you guys can see the progress that was made. So right now I'm just gonna go from front to rear and just talk about what I've done. So the front fender was totally scratched up and twisted and bent. I believe somebody ran into a tree. So replaced the front fender. There was no front number plate, so got a new number plate on there. There was a kill switch, but the cap up here, that the engine stop button, was missing, so had to get a new whole kill switch assembly, and this one actually came with a brake lever too. So that was good, because the brake lever that was on the bike whenever I picked it up was bent. There was grips, but they were normal size grips, so this one that he had on there was all bent up so that you could actually twist the throttle. So I had to get actual correct year and size mini bike OEM Honda grips on there. What else? The tires were dry rotted. They were a pain in the rear to get those beads off of these wheels. Actually ended up having to use a grinder to get these wheels, or to get these tires off these wheels, and you'll see that in the video that I post, because I did take a video of that. Stripped down everything besides the engine so that I can paint the frame and the gas tank. And I guess now is a good time to explain why I did the air quotes, because this was technically a 93 and I made it look like a 99, because the 99 was my first bike. So it's the same bike. I just converted this over to a 99 from a 93, and then I put a 99 model sticker on there. So I've painted pretty much the entire bike. I've touched up the forks, painted the handlebars. The main frame, I just did a little bit of light touch-up work on. It wasn't too bad, but the handlebars were pretty bad. I remember those being pretty bad. The tank was obviously bad because I had to take a heat gun and scrape off the old graphics, so had to do the entire tank. The rear fender was all Frankenstein and zip-tied back here. I remember this. I mean, I'm going back 3 years now. The rear fender is one of the first things that I did, along with the seat cover. That's, you see, I didn't do that great of a job on. But that is what it is. It bothers me. I'd be lying to you if I said that this didn't bother me, but that's the best I could do. And the bottom of the seat cover that I stapled on there's not much fabric to work with, and it actually started to tear because I was tugging so tight, and I messed up so many times with the staple gun, so there's not much fabric left under there. So I can't just take the seat cover off and try again to get this wrinkle out. I'd probably end up having to get a whole new seat cover and try again, and this seat cover wasn't cheap. And I don't feel like doing that, so we're going to leave that as is. But back to the rear fender. So yeah, the rear fender was Frankenstein and zip tied on, so just ended up getting a whole new rear fender. Just today, I had the whole exhaust off, cleaned that up, and gave it a nice fresh coat of paint with some high heat black spray paint. What else? Whenever we installed the the new kill switch, we did have to hook up the ignition coil, so we got that kill switch actually working. When I had the wheels off, whenever I was changing the tires, I got in here and gave the swing arm a nice touch-up of paint. Oh, back here I missed something. So the ignition cover was some cheapo Wildfire brand ignition cover. So got an actual Honda ignition cover on there. And then while I had the old ignition cover off, got in there with the front sprocket and gave that a deep cleaning. That was, I don't think the ignition cover was ever off of this thing all the way from 1993. So many coats of WD-40 degreaser and Simple Green, and just letting those chemicals soak in there and eat through the grease. And I just brushed and brushed and brushed away, and I got it where you could actually see the front sprocket. Before you couldn't see it, it was just nothing but old black grease. So it has a new chain, brand new tires. It was missing the chain guide, so I had to order a chain guide. So now it has that. And then it was missing the baffle on the exhaust, so I had to track down a baffle. And then last thing, I just gave the rear shock springs here a coat of paint. This one was especially bad just because of it missing the baffle for all those years, and then the exhaust smoke coming over out the end here and just getting all the exhaust fumes all over the spring here. This was like yellow mixed with black. It looked terrible. So I'm glad that I finally painted these shock springs here. But yeah, other than that, that's about everything. Oh, and I mean, I obviously got to run the number 70 stickers, and then I got the warning stickers from the factory on there too, just to make it look as original as possible. But that is everything that I've done to this bike over the past three and a half years. I'm not really too sure right now of the date of whenever I picked this up, but I think it's been about 3 years. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think. It was kind of like a budget amateur restoration project, but I'm happy with it. It's not really going to get ridden. It's just going to sit over here on display. But yeah, I'll post some pictures and videos of the process right now. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks. And some hard-ass steel wires. There's one cut.